Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Today is Sunday, April 5th, so it is Easter Sunday. So happy Easter everybody to those of you who celebrate. If you're new to my channel, welcome here. My name is Janice. I live in Manitoba, Canada, and most of my videos usually are grocery hauls from Sobeys or Superstore or both. But occasionally I try and do the odd little vlog as well. And so that's what this is. This is probably going to span over several days because who knows when I'll get a chance to film each day. Life is a little busy with my job and medical appointments and whatnot, but I decided, because in some of my past videos I've talked about my fire hall deliveries, I wanted to kick off this vlog by showing you my Easter delivery. It is Easter Sunday today, and I'm going to be going with my husband in a little bit to deliver to 5 fire halls. Now, if you have not seen me talk about this or heard me talk about this in my previous videos, what I do is I had an uncle who was in World War II along with my father and another uncle. The three of them were in World War II together. And my dad died. He was 50 when I was almost 50 years old when I was born, and he was 14 when I died. So he was only in his 60s when he passed away. And my uncle Jack had been in the war with him, and he went on to be a firefighter in Saskatchewan and then deputy fire chief out there. And because my dad died and I was so young, Jack very much became a second dad to me. And all he wanted to get to be 100 years old to get his letter from the Queen. And he didn't quite get there. He got to 98. He passed away in November of 2013. And so starting on what would have been his 100th birthday in August of 2015, I took 2 paper plates of cookies to the fire halls nearest my house and said it was in memory of him. And a tradition was born. And I've since added Christmas Eve in there, and then a few years ago I added Easter, and gradually I've expanded from 2 fire halls all the way up to 5. So these are homemade jams that I make myself. I usually make anywhere from 200 to 300 jars of jam a summer. Last summer I made a little bit less, but usually it's anywhere from 200 to 300 jars. And I make, most of the baking is homemade. I mean, there's a couple of like pre-made, ready-to-bake Pillsbury cookies that I bake up too. Those aren't necessarily ones that I've made because there's, obviously I didn't make those doughs or decorate them, but I do bake them though. But yeah, I make pretty much everything in this all myself. And then we go on Christmas Eve, and usually at some point on Easter, which that varies depending on what day I have off from work, because I do work at Sobeys, a grocery store here. And that's a very busy week at my work, so it depends on what day I get off. It's as busy a week in the store as Christmas. So it depends what day I get off. This year I lucked into having Easter Sunday off, so I cooked our family's Easter dinner on Tuesday, my last day off, and in order to keep today open for this. I've actually had a couple other days off this week too. I had Tuesday off, and then I had Thursday, but Thursday I had to be out of town at a hospital for an MRI on my right knee. So any time I've had, whether before work, after work, all week, I've been baking. And some of these cookies that you'll see are ones I made at Christmas, and they've just been frozen, that I've pulled those out to add to the baskets. So as soon as I finish filming this, I'm going to have to turn this around and load the baskets up and get going, because it's already almost 5 o'clock, and it's 5 fire halls, but usually it takes almost half an hour or so, or 20 minutes-ish at each one, because I've been doing this for 11 years. It's been since August 2015. So a lot of these guys recognize me, remember me, and they stop and they chat and they give us a tour of the fire hall. So the sooner I get this part done, the sooner we can get on the road. So let me show you what I made, and then I'll show you quickly what the baskets look like once they're all assembled. So let me turn you around. I'll show you what it is that I made for this fire hall delivery for this Easter. Okay, it is 5:42, so it is time to load up the car and go. But here are the finished baskets. I ended up not even bothering cutting up the banana eggnog loaf. We just put it back in the freezer because the baskets are so full. I had so many other things between the cinnamon buns I made and all the muffins and brownies, the mini cheesecakes, Christmas cookies left over that had been frozen, and all the cookies I made this past week. That, I mean, sure, we could have put a few slices in each, but I mean, these are lots. So all the baskets are done. I even got some not Christmas, Easter themed napkins at Dollarama to go along with these baskets. And then there's the jams. Okay guys, it's Tuesday evening now. It's actually Tuesday night. It's 10:15 in the evening. I just finished work at 10 o'clock and I'm going home. I have the next 2 days off, and Supposed to take my daughter to our hairdresser tomorrow for an eyebrow wax and a haircut, which she badly needs. And then I'm supposed to go on Thursday to see the same person to get my haircut and my roots done. But I'm really kind of not sure about the appointment tomorrow. Like, obviously I'll take her because she needs to go, but it's snowing again. Look at this. It's April, guys. Here, let me clear that off. But let me see here. Like, look, if you look up at the light, look at how it's coming down. That's nuts. It was spring on the calendar as of a couple weeks ago. It's coming down like crazy right now. I'm not a fan of this at all. It is what it is, and in Manitoba, Canada, you can get snow into April, and it usually doesn't stick. I've heard varying reports that different parts of the province are supposed to get a lot more than what we're supposed to get, but still, oh, I want spring. Anyway, I'm on my way home. Today is 10% Tuesday at the store, or basically Scene Plus member day, meaning if you have a Scene Plus card and you spend a minimum $50 before tax, you can get either 10% off your bill or bonus Scene points, which is 200 points per $20 spent. I did not take advantage of that. The only thing I did buy after work tonight were 2 birthday cards, one for my brother-in-law Kelvin and one for one of my kids, my Sobeys kids, one of the young men that I've kind of adopted that my daughter and I work with. He says his 23rd birthday is coming up on Friday. And so I bought him a couple of Old Navy gift cards and a birthday card. So, and that none of the gift cards don't apply towards the $50 purchase to get the extra points. So that's totally fine, but I knew that. Anyway, I'm gonna go head home. I'm off the next 2 days. I need to get my daughter to that appointment tomorrow, and then I have prayer meeting in the evening, and then Thursday's my appointment. Somehow my days off always wind up being full. They're not really truly days off. I think I have some laundry going in the washer right now. I set a load on timer to start about 9 o'clock tonight, so I'm gonna have to fold what's in the dryer as soon as I get home and then get that stuff going before I go to bed. But anyway, that's my update for Tuesday. Okay, it is Wednesday now, and I'm taking my daughter to get her haircut. To get an eyebrow wax and a haircut. So it's Wednesday afternoon, appointments in 5 minutes, so here we go. But it was still a nice burger, nice to have one.
Every day.
For more highlights this year. Look how pretty you look though. Looks good.
Just put them in the car. Yeah, of course.
You look so pretty. Alright guys, it is 6:57. I am now at my church. We have our bi-weekly prayer meeting this evening. It starts in like 3 minutes, so I'm going to head inside. After my daughter's hair appointment today, I had to take her over to the lab, to a medical lab, to get her blood drawn. She's seeing a new doctor and he wants blood work done, so we had quite a wait there, but it went smoother and quicker than expected. So went home for a little bit, and now I'm heading inside for a prayer meeting for this evening for an hour, and then perhaps I might go over to Superstore afterwards and get a few things that are going off sale tonight. So anyway, that's what I'm up to this evening. Alright guys, today is Thursday. It is now just about 4 o'clock. I just pulled into the driveway at home. Today was my turn for a haircut appointment, and I got my roots colored. The gray roots are gone again for a few more months, yay! And I got my bangs back. I've been trying for like 6-7 months now, or whatever it has been, at my hairdresser's recommendation, to grow the bangs out. And you know, when she styles it after she cuts my hair, it looks good, but I can never replicate that. So I said, you know, okay, enough. Like, I want my bangs back. I mean, I know before I always had my bangs maybe too short, so maybe it's a bit of a dated look, so we didn't go quite as short as what I normally would have in the past, but my bangs are back, and I feel better having, it feels weird though having something on my forehead again after 6 months, but I prefer it though. I never really loved having my forehead be bare. So anyway, so that's what I did this afternoon. It's 5 to 4, and I'm going in the house for a few minutes, and then I got to turn around and take my daughter to work at 4:30, and then physiotherapy tonight at 7:30. So and then now starting Friday, I'm on a 4-day stretch at work, so I don't know how much vlogging I'll be doing then. We'll see. I should do some laundry in between now and physio tonight. I should probably do some laundry at the very least. Don't know yet what's happening for supper, but anyway, this is what I did today. I've got my hair done. She always styles it nicely after too, but yeah, I think she colored it, just got the roots done, no highlights, and my bangs are back. So I feel happy about that, and you know, Usually go every 5 weeks or so to see her, and the color is usually every couple of months, but this is a nice pick-me-up for today anyway. So that is it for right now. Okay, so once again, this vlog is going to last forever, it seems like, as far as getting it done. It is now Tuesday, April 14th. I haven't picked up the camera to add to this vlog since last Thursday. I have filmed a few other things as far as like working on a grocery haul video, but that's separate. It's just been a busy time. I've worked just about every day, it feels like. I know there's been a day off in there, here or there somewhere. I can't even remember at this point. Today I'm really tired. I mean, it may show in my face. There's a good reason for that. I tend to have trouble sleeping at the best of times, but last night, my African gray parrot, Ruby, my daughter came out of her room. The bird lives in her room, and my daughter came out at like 2:30 in the morning to wake me up. I think I had just dozed off not long before that and said, "Mom, Ruby's making weird noises." And okay, I went to go see. She seemed like she was kind of distressed or something. Took her out of the cage, and then the bird actually vomited a little bit. Parrots do regurgitate sometimes. They bring up their food like as a token of their love to feed you. This was different. This was actually a little bit of vomit. I'm like, okay, that's not good. And it is starting to become spring, so it is spring fever. Birds are getting hormonal, and that bird especially loves me. She's quite hormonal with me and acts like I'm her mate. And we try to discourage that, because if she gets like that, then you don't want them to starting lay eggs. She doesn't have a partner, so the eggs are useless. They're not fertile. But also, there's always that risk that a parrot could become egg-bound, which can be fatal. And so I thought, well, maybe she's trying to lay an egg, because she has been acting kind of hormonal around me lately. And, we put her on the bed beside my daughter and I, and we were talking to her. And she was friendly with me like normal, but not like normal. And she was squatting down like she was trying to pass something. And it was a little bit, it wasn't normal. It wasn't her usual droppings, but she seemed like she was straining. And I thought, okay, well, it's going on 3 o'clock in the morning now. Do we try and rush her to an emergency vet, or do we just wait and see if, first of all, is it an egg? I don't know. If it's an egg and it passes on its own, then the symptoms will subside and it'll be fine. But I wasn't sure. She's laid the odd egg in the past, but the last time she was over a year ago. So anyway, put her back in the cage at one point, because that's where she was. She kept looking at her cage like she wanted to go in. And then not long after that, we heard the plop, because she was, she was on her high perch, and she did pass the egg. It was an egg, and it fell to the bottom of the cage and broke. Not fertile or anything like that, because she has no mate. And that was a relief, because, it's one thing. I mean, you don't really want to encourage laying anyway, just because there is that risk of them becoming egg-bound. But whatever, if she has an egg in her, get it out. That's the main thing, because you don't want it stuck in there. So I'm glad that she passed it. And then since then, today, she's back to her normal self, and she's chirping and carrying on and talking away to me and wanting to be all goofy and cuddly with me again as usual, which is nice. But again, I don't want her to be too hormonal with me, because we'll have this cycle going on. So I'm glad she's back to normal and don't need a vet visit. But at some point, she is due for an annual exam anyway. But anyway, I was awake until like 5 this morning, because even though she passed that egg around 3:30, 4 o'clock, I was still awake for a while. It was still pretty stressful. And then I had a video appointment this morning at noon. Well, noon, I guess, not this morning, but so I had to get up for that. I had showered, had that appointment because I wanted to be presentable on camera, and then went to a chiropractor for a first visit. And I do go to a physiotherapist at least once a week, sometimes twice. He deals with my knee issues and hip issues and whatnot. And he's a jack of all trades. Like, he's a physiotherapist. He can work on injuries on your neck, your back, your jaw, any part of your body, really. And sometimes he does work on my back. But oftentimes the knees and the hips are such a major part of what he does with me. There's only so much time in those appointment slots. So sometimes the back just doesn't get done, because the knees are the primary thing that always needs tending to. So I decided today, because I've served this fellow at Sobeys at my work a number of times, and I've seen he has the shirt, and I could see the name of the chiropractic place he works at. He's the main doctor there. So I went to see him, had an initial visit. He took some x-rays on my back, and he gave me some answers as far as some things that are happening, as far as some degeneration, and the discs in my lower back, just age related stuff, which, just this aging thing is just for the birds, right? So he worked on my back for a little while, and I'm going to go back on Friday for a second visit. I do feel somewhat better after this first visit. Only thing is, I'm trying to be careful how many visits I have between now and May 1st, because I'm my insurance benefits are maxed out currently. They don't roll over till May 1st. So that was my afternoon. I came home quickly, grabbed my daughter, dropped her off at work, and then I continued on to Superstore. I put some gas in my car and then got groceries. You can see it's all in the back seat. I've got to take it in the house. So yeah, I've got to do that. And then I still have physiotherapy at 7:30 tonight. So work tomorrow, so work Wednesday, and then I'm off Thursday, Friday. And Thursday's a pretty open day. Except I got texted last night about 10 o'clock. Sorry, my hand is getting tired from holding the phone like this. I got texted about 10 o'clock last night, before all this stuff started with the bird, about whether or not I would like to sing on worship team this weekend at church. So initially I was going to do physio Thursday, and I had canceled tonight's appointment. But worship team practice would be Thursday night. So I said, probably, but I have to call physio in the morning and make sure I can move my appointment back to Tuesday. So I had done that 7 o'clock this morning. As soon as physio opened, I called and I'm like, Kevin, can you please cancel Thursday's appointment and move me back to Tuesday, to tonight, if Scott has an appointment time available still? And he says, yep, he does. So he moved me back to tonight. Then I was able to text Kristen back at church and say, yes, I can do worship team this weekend. I can make Thursday practice. That's great. So Thursday is a pretty wide open day, other than, I think if Rachel works, I might have to drive her to and from work. But beyond that, I just have worship team practice that night. And then Friday is a relatively open day. I think I'm seeing my chiropractor Friday morning, but the rest of the day is relatively open. It's another day off, and I have... it's my wedding anniversary that day, 16 years of marriage. So that will be Friday. So I will pause here because I can see I've already talked for over 6 minutes on this clip. I'm going to stop here. I got to get my groceries in the house, and then I will maybe pick up hopefully in the next couple days. And hopefully by the end of this coming weekend, I'll be able to wrap this vlog up finally. Again, it will have taken 2 weeks to do, but it is what it is. Life has just been crazy. Lots going on. You know, I mean, my daughter and I are both looking to potentially change family doctors. After 20 years, that's a big deal. Trying to find somebody, A, that is taking new patients, and B, that you're comfortable with is a big deal. She's got a dentist appointment, a cleaning coming up in the next 2 weeks or something. I've got a couple of chiropractor appointments. I think my husband's taking his car in. It's a new car. He bought it a year ago, but there was already one sensor that came on, and it took quite a while for them to get the part in. So next week, I think he's got to drop it off for them to do that. It's under warranty, so that's great. So meanwhile, I'm plugging all these things into the calendar: my work, her work, his days off, car appointments, chiro appointments, dental appointments. It's like, and I'm the manager of it all. So which is fine. I like doing that, but sometimes it's a lot, especially on a day like today when I'm only running on 4 hours sleep. Today, it's a lot. So I'm going to go put my groceries away, and I will finish this off, add to this either later today or later this week or something. And yeah, hopefully we'll have this wrapped up in a couple of days and you can hopefully enjoy it. So I'm going to pause you for right now though, okay? I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, I'm home from physio and it's like 9:30 at night and I'm laying on a couch in the dark. Cricket, my Indian ringneck, is in the kitchen. You can't see him, they're around the corner. He's perched on my husband's shoulder because there's food, and he's thinking that my husband will give him a treat. So because of that, he's sitting on his shoulder, talking up a storm, going through his full vocabulary. They're like having a full-on conversation in there. Oh, is he done talking?
He hasn't done a good boy.
Is he done talking? Oh, there he goes.
Pretty hard.
I thought you said he was on your shoulder.
Well, he's not because the food's away.
Oh. Too funny.
Bye, Cricket.
Okay, it is Wednesday evening now. It is 7:50. I actually finished work at 7:30. I should have left work already, but I sat down. I made the big mistake of sitting down, and now I don't want to get back up. But I need to get up because I need to go home because I'm now off work for 2 days. But I'm just so tired. So anyway, I am done work now for the next 2 days, thankfully, and yeah, I'm gonna head home, I think. Maybe make another stop or two along the way, get a couple things that might be on sale. My husband's telling me there's some stuff on sale at Freshco and at Giant Tiger, so which one I'll go to, I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna go head home and then we'll go from there. Looking forward to my 2 days off. Hey, it's Thursday evening, April 16th now, 7 o'clock. I am here at the church once again. This time I'm here for worship team practice, and it's starting like right away, so I need to get inside, get to practice, help get everybody, help get set up, and yeah, time to get going on music practice. Okay, today is Monday, April 20th, and I just wanted to show you, these are my anniversary flowers. My husband and I celebrated our 16th wedding anniversary on Friday, April 17th. And he brought home these lovely yellow roses from Superstore and gave me this card. And my daughter picked up these tulips, which they were standing upright when she first brought them home, but I guess now that they're starting to bloom and they're spreading out a bit, they're kind of a little more on a lean, but they're really opening nicely, just like the roses. She brought those home. And this is a card I got for my husband. I also got him you'll see it in my grocery haul video. I got him a Winnipeg Blue Bombers oven mitt and pot holder set, and a Winnipeg Jets Blue Bombers and pot holder set for an anniversary gift because he's a fan of both of those teams. And then he also got me this little Highland cow, which actually these guys in the middle here, these are little solar lights, and I've tested them out already. They do light up, so I'll be putting those out in my backyard or in my front flower bed this summer once it's nice enough to start planting things outside. And you can see kind of in the background there's 3 family wedding pictures there. That is ours in the middle. And yeah, I'm only just recording this now because we actually spent a lot of time at the hospital this weekend. Dear friends of ours, like friends of over 10 years. Apparently the husband is not well. He's basically dying. He's got multi-organ failure going on, and so I spent quite a bit of time there on Friday night and Saturday morning and again Saturday night sitting with his wife, who is one of my closest friends, and their daughter and my daughter are only a few years apart, and they sang in a children's choir for a number of years. So we hadn't had any plans to go out for dinner on our anniversary anyway, which was fine because I wound up spending most of Friday evening at the hospital with my friends. And again, a lot of Saturday before work and after work. So, you know, it was fine. We didn't have big anniversary plans. It's not like we canceled anything or anything like that. But, you know, it's just one of those things. He's only 65 years old. So trying to go and be a support to them as much as we can. Took them some food on Friday night, and my daughter came with me as well to hang out with her daughter. And we're just kind of helping hold vigil. And I mean, the pastor of our church came with me on Saturday morning to give them a pastoral visit at their request. And it's just been a tough time. But, you know, my husband and I met 19 years ago and started dating at that time, and now we've been married for 16 years as of Friday. So my roses are opening up really nicely, and so are the tulips. So that is it for today, or at least for right now anyway, because I've got to head to work. It is 1:25 and I need to be out the door in 5 minutes. I will talk to you later. And before I go to work too, I just want to quickly show you, yesterday, Sunday, after church, I came home and I worked on planting some vegetables and flowers, just trying to start them from seed in the house. These are going to be peas, cucumbers. I think those are sugar pumpkins, so they're smaller. And then over here, some strawberry plants and zucchini, radishes, red pepper, green pepper, lettuce, and this plant back here are flowers. They are nasturtiums. So I had them off to one side just to keep not to clutter up the sink area. Excuse the dirty dishes in there. But now that my husband's at work for the day and I'll be leaving, there shouldn't be anybody really needing into the sink for a little while. So for the afternoon, I'm trying to let these get some daylight. At least I just started them yesterday. So we'll see what comes of this, see what grows, if anything. I'm hoping to get some raised garden beds if I can afford them, to be able to plant these in if anything grows, just because my knees are so bad, so that getting down on my knees and planting a garden is getting a lot harder. So that's what I was up to yesterday afternoon. I did have church yesterday morning, and I was singing on worship team. Did not get any footage, you know, obviously just busy and just not even having just privacy stuff too, because not all the other musicians want to be on video, even though the church is on live stream, but I don't think they want me posting that on my YouTube though. So that was yesterday, and then came home and did this and took the rest of the day easy. So I'm going to be working 2 to 7:30 tonight, and possibly running back to the hospital tonight to see my friend and sit with her for a little while. We'll see how today goes. Okay, it's Wednesday, April 22nd. It is 2:59 p.m. I'm on my way to my chiropractor appointment right now. It's one of my 2 days off. Today's pretty busy for a day off. I delivered my daughter to a doctor's appointment at 11 this morning. She's in the process of switching from our old family doctor to a new one, so she had an appointment with him, and then I waited around for her to finish that, and I dropped her off at a restaurant. She wanted to take herself for a late breakfast, early lunch in between appointments, because she had a dental cleaning at 1 o'clock. So I dropped her off at Salisbury House, which is a Manitoba chain of restaurants, and left her there. And then I had a 12 o'clock appointment for a manicure and pedicure. My husband had gotten me a gift certificate back in October for my birthday, and it was only good for 6 months, so it's expiring like next week. So I got this blue color on my fingernails. I'm in my car right now, so I can't show you my toes, but they're kind of a cross between like a pinky corally kind of color. So anyway, now it is 3 o'clock on the nose, and I have 15 minutes to get to my chiropractor appointment, so I'm going to head out. And then yeah, and then I have prayer meeting tonight at 7 at church, and then after that at 8 o'clock we're doing worship team practice. Normally worship team practices are Thursday nights, but for whatever reason, for the gal that's leading this week, for whatever reason, it's working out better that it be Wednesday, so we're doing practice tonight, which is fine, because then that means I can keep my Thursday night appointment for physiotherapy tomorrow night. So anyway, I better go so I can get to my chiropractor appointment on time. Home from the chiropractor, and my bird, my African gray parrot, Ruby, is in the window, preening herself, and taking in the sunshine. It's a beautiful day here today. She's just soaking up the rays of sunshine and preening herself, grooming away over there. Every once in a while she takes note of somebody walking down the street, especially if they're walking with a dog, and then she chirps at them. And I noticed over here, my Christmas cactus is in bloom. A little late for Easter this year. Usually it blooms for Easter, but this year Easter was already a couple of weeks ago, so that's over. So it's a little late, but there's still more blooms coming on the side there. Hasn't fully bloomed yet, but there's some that are just going. See, there's some more blooms there. And then, yeah, gotta go to prayer meeting in a little while. In the meantime, my husband's having a post-work nap. I don't dare have a daytime nap or I won't sleep tonight. There's Cricket up there. He's also preening himself on top of Pepe's cage. Right, Cricket? Just the thing to do this afternoon is to preen or groom oneself, I guess. Soaking up the nice sunshine. Beautiful spring day. I actually should be outside in it, is what I should be doing. Alright, it is Friday, April 24th now. It is about 8:30, I want to say, in the evening. Yeah, 8:42 in the evening right now. We're at the town of Lockport. That's my family walking down there. This is the locks at Lockport. You can hear the Canada geese honking. It's been a really warm, very mild couple of spring days the last 2 days. Today was cooler, and now the temperature's dropping for overnight here. You can really see down here all these pelicans. The current is just so strong. These poor pelicans are just bobbing along here. They can't not move. It's just the water's moving them around. They're not swimming around. They're trying to sit still, but the water's just not letting them do that. So, yeah. There's more, I think, on the other shore over here, too. Over there. You can see how fast the water is moving. And you hear Canada geese honking, too. There's some Canada geese in the park all the way down there on the grass, but there's probably some flying overhead, too. You can sure hear them honking at this hour. Probably looking for a place to land for the night. My daughter is insisting on finding some Canada geese to visit. You can hear them honking like crazy. There's some geese out here. It's getting pretty dim. It's close to 9 o'clock, so it's not very bright out anymore. There's actually a church across the way there that looks like they're trying to make it into a house. Yeah, the very, very top, there's like a thing way at the very top. They kind of made it into a balcony up there. There's like lawn furniture on top of it. So go visit the geese, although I'm warning her not to approach somewhere. You can approach, but don't get too close, because Canada geese are notorious they can be kind of nasty. If you tick them off, they can chase you, and you got to be able to outrun them. Oh yeah, it's actually getting quite chilly out here now. It's almost 9 o'clock. The sun's gone down for the night, and the temperature is dropping, and the wind has picked up. It is cool out here. A couple of pelicans and geese on the water here. My daughter pointed out there's a pair of them. Where are they? Over here. That have been bickering and fighting over here on this shore. It's blurry because of the lighting. Oh, they're just mad. A couple of them are having a moment over there. Yeah, the lighting's not great, so I don't think this is going to focus. Okay, it's time to pack it in here. It's getting chilly out. Time to go back to the car. It is cold. That wind is chilly. It's Monday, April 27th, and we're bringing our bunny Floyd to the vet for a checkup. He's got a little bit of some crusty fur around his right eye there. We're going to get that checked out, and he's just due for a checkup and a nail trim. So here we are, just waiting for the doctor. He's good otherwise, but he's due for a checkup and a nail trim. So this is what we're doing today. He's being camera shy. He doesn't want to look at the camera. Right, Floyd? Let's peek at you this way. Hi. Here he is. Okay guys, I haven't picked up the camera to vlog in several days. It is now Friday, May 1st. It is time to wrap up this vlog once and for all. It is 10:30 at night. My goodness. I worked until 7:30 tonight, and then I waited around at work until 8 o'clock for Rachel to finish, my daughter, and then brought her home. And we need to give Floyd his eye drops that we got at the vet the other day. So he's doing quite well. This is his left eye, which looks perfectly fine. It's the right eye is the one that had the infection and kind of the gunk coming out of it. So it looks a lot better. I'm just waiting for my husband to come down here to help me, because it is a bit of a process. I can probably scoop him up, but I need either him or my daughter to hold him still so that I can lift his upper eyelid and get those drops in. They're supposed to be done twice a day for 2 weeks, and he does look a lot better, so that is good news. He needs to gain some weight according to the vet, and apparently there's another condition. I can't remember what the name it is off the top of my head, but it's something where their back feet, or even their front paws too for that matter, can develop a condition where they start to get kind of raw, kind of pink looking, and he's got the beginnings of that in his 2 back feet. So that's why we've had to put puppy pee pads down and then put a towel over top, because otherwise normally the bottom of the cage is just plastic, and that's not the greatest for his feet. Oh, it's going out of focus here. So anyway, we're just gonna do that now, and then maybe we'll let him have a little bit of a run around the room down here before he goes to bed, before we all go to bed, and then I'll try and wrap this vlog up once and for all. Yes, Floyd, we're talking about you. Okay guys, it's just a couple minutes after the fact here, and we just finished doing Floyd's drops. As I said, his eye looks considerably better than it did at the vet on Monday. I'm going to lose my grip on my phone here. Any kind of funny, like any crusty or wetness around the eye that you saw in that clip, I can't really tell if some of the leftover crustiness is still the fact that the infection isn't fully cleared up, or if it's just simply sometimes when I go to do the drops, they get in the eye, but when he blinks a little bit, runs out. And so that's probably affecting, making some of the fur kind of dry and crusty looking around the eye. Certainly it looks a lot better than it did. So I'm thinking and hoping that it's just simply drops that are escaping a little bit, or, you know, a little bit of runny eye, you know, because you put it in and then of course you blink, just like when humans put eye drops in, right? You blink a bit and you get a little bit on your eyelashes. So try not to, but you know, it's an animal and you can't reason with them. So anyway, it is Friday, May 1st. It's after 10:30 at night, and I am just done. This is my attempts at vlogging are not your typical day in the life or week in the life or weekend in the life. This, as just like my last vlog, has gone on about 2 weeks easily. And I apologize for that, but at the same time, this is just what it is. I mean, I think the last time I filmed was Monday at the vet's, I think. I can't even remember. The rest of this week I've been mostly working. I did have Thursday off, but wasn't feeling the best yesterday, and I had a few other things going on. But I can't really give you guys a normal day in the life video or a week in the life video or weekend in the life video, because my days and weeks and weekends are not normal. I'm a creature of habit that thrives on routine, and yet I have, in a lot of ways, very little. And primarily I say that because, I mean, I have a steady job and I normally have a second part-time job, and that's all well and good. And I mean, that's predictable, except that my hours at Sobeys are different all the time. I work whatever they give me. I have a couple of restrictions in that because I have such trouble sleeping, I don't do early morning shifts. The last thing I need is to be going to bed at 11 at night and falling asleep at 4 in the morning and then trying to go into work at 8 in the morning. And unfortunately, insomnia is my best friend and melatonin doesn't help. So, yeah, so I don't work until mid to late morning at the earliest. Often they have me on 2 to 7:30 shift in the evening, or 3 to 8:30, or 4 to 9:30, or 4:30 to 10, or whatever. So quite often I'm working afternoons and evenings, which then affects my cooking as far as cooking meals, because I'm often working at night. But even though typically those are my shifts, it can be the 2 o'clock, it can be the 3 o'clock, it can be the 4 o'clock. Sometimes they'll throw an 11 a.m. shift in there, whatever. Sundays, they never schedule me before 2 because I have church. I'm pretty involved there. And Thursdays, I need to be done by 7. So, but beyond that though, like, I don't have predictability in the sense that I don't have set days off because I have those restrictions of no early mornings, and needing to be off by 7 on Thursdays. I try not to limit myself in any other ways. So I know my schedule when I get it, usually a couple weeks in advance. So I don't have a set day off. So that's what I mean. I don't have that predictability to say, oh, here's a typical week. I work Monday, Wednesday, Friday every week. No, I don't. I work whatever they give me. So, and sure, I'm off by 7 on Thursdays, but that doesn't mean I'm off on Thursdays necessarily. Sometimes I am. Sometimes they just give me a 2 to 7 shift or a morning shift or something. So it's very hard to predict. Normally I have physiotherapy either Tuesday night or Thursday night, depending on the week. If I'm singing in church on Sunday, then I would do physio Tuesday night because worship team practice will be Thursday night. So it really varies. I work at the school when I can, although I didn't do much of it this winter because, like I've explained, I didn't want to take a risk of falling on ice and injuring my knees further. But I don't have set days there either. It depends on my Sobeys shifts. If it's a day off from Sobeys, I'll do the school. Or if it's a 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock shift at Sobeys, then I'll do the school. But yeah, so it really varies. So as much as I love routine and crave routine, and I try my best to have some level of routine at home, you know, my work schedules are just kind of what they are. And I do like to volunteer at the mission, but again, that has to be on a day off. So it's a lot of these things I like to do are things that just kind of happen when I can fit them in around my work schedule. So to give you a typical week in the life or day in the life or weekend in the life is difficult because my schedule is always changing. So that's why these videos tend to drag on pretty long, because on work days I don't really feel up to vlogging because I'm tired. I'm usually hurrying to do a few chores before I go to work, and then I go to work and I come home and do a bit of laundry or housework or whatever and crash, or try to crash if I'm able to sleep. And a lot of that depends on the pain levels in my knees too. So anyway, I rambled for 5 minutes in this clip alone, so I need to wrap this video up. That is kind of a long version of why when I attempt to vlog, they tend to drag on as long as they do. Now, I do, after work tonight, I am now on 6 days off. My husband has this coming week off on holidays starting tomorrow. And so I booked Monday to Thursday off next week. And the days off I was given at work for this week was Saturday and then Sunday to start next week. So I booked Monday to Thursday off, but I have Saturday off tomorrow, just what I looked into. And they also didn't schedule me on Sunday. So I actually have 6 days off. Now, on Sunday, we're going to a Manitoba Moose hockey game. So that'll be nice. I'll do church in the morning, which I'm not singing that Sunday. And then we'll go to the hockey game. Monday, I think I have the chiropractor. Tuesday morning, I have a consultation with a surgeon regarding my knees. I've been already forewarned by the doctor and my physiotherapist that they probably won't want to do surgery for a few years yet because they'll say I'm too young, just simply because knee replacement surgery, if you have it done now, it may have to be done again in 20 years. So we'll see how that goes. And then Wednesday, I see the doctor that I've been seeing about my knees and hips and stuff, and he will probably do some more cortisone injections in my knees. So, but tomorrow, Saturday, I don't have any plans. Thursday, I don't have any plans. You know, medical stuff, Tuesday, Wednesday. You know, I'm hoping to get some sleeping in, catch up on some rest, hopefully do some spring cleaning, swap the winter clothes out of my closet for the summer clothes, and maybe some baking. We'll see. Anyway, so let me just wrap this video up once and for all. I apologize that for a vlog it's taken so long to wrap up, but I hope some of these things that I've been involved in have given you a little glimpse, even though they're not typical days in the life all the time, because my days vary, like I said, but hopefully it gives you some idea of some of the things I'm involved in. Going into this next 6 days off, I'm hoping to start fresh tomorrow or Sunday with another vlog and kind of show you some of the things that I get into during my time off. So I hope you will give this video a like if you enjoyed it and leave a comment down below. And I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I hope that you will return and watch my next grocery haul, which will probably be in about a week or so because I get paid in 6 days. So there'll be a grocery haul coming and probably hopefully another vlog of what I do on these next 6 days off and or anything else that I get into. So hope you guys have enjoyed this, and yeah, make sure you leave a comment down below if you did, and we'll see you next time. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we will see you in the next video. Talk to you soon.